Hello, this is Manish Patel of EII Capital Group. Today is January 25th, 2011. It's a weekly Ichimoku analysis for the futures market where we cover everything from commodities to metals and so forth. Let's begin. This is a disclaimer to state this is for educational use only. All charts are either in Thinkorswim, TradeStation, or freestockcharts.com. Here are my contact details. You can follow us on Ichimoku Trading, and here are my email address where you can email me for any questions. I did come back from vacation now, so we will be resuming our normal schedules for everything in the next week or so. Okay, let's go and look straight at the charts. Let's go look straight at the charts, and let's just start going for the futures. Let's go pull up one future, and then we'll show you the charts. Let's go look at cocoa futures. To your left, remember, is the daily time frame. To your right is the weekly. If you look at cocoa futures, the daily is basically bullish trending for sure. The weekly time frame, the movement today, this week basically has pushed it bullish. However, this just turned here, and this is there. So this is bullish trending right now, but we do expect a minor pullback to occur, and it should occur soon. If there's not that, well, a minor pullback should occur. If it doesn't, this thing's going to keep on going up, but we're kind of expecting a pullback, possibly all the way up to back to 32, 31 if we can. If not, this thing's going to keep on flying up. But cocoa futures is bullish trending right now. Light crude is sweet oil. If you look at the weekly time frame, it's basically penetrated the Tinkinson, so a minor pullback is now on the way. And the Cajunson is at 81.89, so it may come all the way down to 81.89, but we gotta wait and see. If you look at the daily time frame, you can see that prices in the cloud, so it's consolidation, sediment, but basically what should happen here is, since the Tinkinson Cajunson cross, it should pull back and then probably go down. So this movement here on the weekly, you're probably going to see it go down to about $82 a barrel, hopefully, and then it may continue to resume. Remember, the seasonal pattern for crude oil is basically bullish at the end of January, beginning of February, March. So it's got to pull down and then kind of consolidate a little. We got to see. Cotton still bullish, trending to the upside. It's getting more momentum still. This thing's still going, unbelievable, but still going. If you look at the U.S. dollar index, if you look at the weekly time frame, everything's in a state of influx. Sentiment is bearish, but you got a state of influx, and right now this is looking for, it looks like it's trying to sit there and trying to maybe go bullish. If you look at the daily time frame, we're basically barely below the cloud, but everything's in a state of influx too. Basically, this is consolidating, so there's no real opportunities there. We'll come and look at that. Feeder cattle's first minor pullback is now occurring on a weekly, which is basically here to the Cajunson on the daily. Key is going to be what happens here at this 124 level. Is it going to hold or going to keep on going? Will this be a minor pullback for a weekly, or is this going to turn into a major pullback? That's the next question now for the feeder cattle people. If you look at lean hogs are still going on very strong. But be very careful, because the weekly time frame is showing some conflict right now. So definitely it could disrupt the bullish trend on the daily. Copper, if you look at our last video, it was basically going up. It looks like it's trying to do a minor pullback right down to the Tinkinson 4.094 level. And if you look at the daily, it's basically it's pulling back now into a major pullback. So daily is in a major pullback, weekly is in a minor pullback to the Tinkinson. The key question is what's going to happen at a level of 4.1048. Will it go for penetrate that? If it does, it's got a potential going all the way down to 3.8378. Heating oil. If you look at that heating oil, it's in a minor pullback on the weekly. And also on the daily too. Key level is going to be here at 2.5644. What's it going to do at that level? Okay. Coffee's on a pullback too, and we got to wait to see exactly what's going to happen here at this level at 2.2917, or here break for a 244. But it is bullish trending on the weekly. Lumber, if it is bullish trending on the weekly, but you could see they did a pullback here to Tinkinson, went a little up, and looks like it's trying to fail here. If this thing breaks below here, this level here at 295, this thing does have a potential going all the way back to 292, hitting the Tinkinson, and eventually maybe going back all the way to 267, which is the Cajunson on the weekly. Live cattle, you could see, is on a pullback, major pullback, medium pullback to the Cajun on the weekly time frame, which is at 103 level, and you can see the daily is trying to get to the cloud, but 103 level, 103 will be a key level to watch to see exactly what it's going to do there. Let's look at natural gas. If you look at natural gas on the weekly, it's consolidating. On a daily, basically, it's right at the Cajun, so it's at a key support level right now, and see what it does there. Let's go look at orange juice. Orange juice again is also on a pullback on a daily, minor pullback on the weekly, but a medium pullback on the daily. Key level is going to be here at 168.43. What does it do there? Palladium, it looks like it's finally starting to do a minor pullback, but it's right at the Cajun on the daily, and you don't know what's going to happen here. So this is a key support level here on what's going to happen there. Platinum, again, it's at a key level. It's starting to go down to a key level. 1774 is a key level of what's going to happen there. Natural gas, if you look at natural gas, we looked at that a minute ago, but these are the minis. Gasoline, if you look at gasoline, it was bullish trending on the weekly time frame. As you could see, it got to a level that we were wanting to get to, a 2.44 that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. It's kind of bounced off that level now, and the key thing is it's on a minor pullback as far as the weekly is concerned, and it's trying to get to the cloud on the daily. The levels to look at are going to be here at 2.3273. If it penetrates that, then it could get all the way back down to 2.1464. Okay. Sugar, if you look at sugar, basically it's a basic bullish trending on the weekly, but consolidating on the daily. Silver, basically it's pulling back now. The key level to watch for is 24.50 on the weekly time frame, but it's pulling back now. Mini gold, you can see gold is basically pulling back to about 1,300 now too. You notice the trend in all the commodities. The weeklies are still bullish trending, but they're in pullback phases now. So a lot of the commodities right now, from metals to corn and stuff like that, you could see that they're basically pulling back on the weekly, but they're still bullish trending. If you look at the daily, this is bullish trending on both the daily and weekly. Let's go look at 10-year Treasury bonds. 10-year Treasury bonds, you could look at, this is just basically consolidating. But there's nothing really going on here that you could tell. It's going to be very hard for the 10-year Treasury bonds to go above high, to go higher. If it does, this will be a major resistance level, 1.2305. But there's nothing really there for the 10-year Treasury bonds. Oats, if you look at it, is bullish trending on the weekly, consolidating on the daily. If you look at soybean, it's basically bullish trending on the weekly, pulling back on a daily time frame. Key level is going to be 13.58. Okay, and then lastly, wheat is basically bullish trending on the weekly and it's bullish trending on the daily too. So the story is the same across all the futures. If you notice that the weekly is still it's still trending, but they're in the pullback phase. So if you're looking to get into any of the futures, they're now pulling back. Look for the key levels that we talked about in this video, and then look to see exactly what happens at those levels, and see if it does stop at those, and then it starts continuing on its trend. But it seems like the beginning Q1 of this year, a lot of the commodity futures that were running last year is pretty much in pullback phase. Doesn't mean it's ended. This just means it's pulling back right now. We have to wait till it gets to those key levels to see exactly what it does there. And if it penetrates those key levels, then those pullbacks could turn into a trend reversal. But we have to wait and see until that price tells us what's it going to do. Hope you enjoy the video and have a good week trading.